Urban Meyer, Fox Sports college analyst, is joining us live. So the Ohio State-Tennessee game is fascinating. Ohio State's got better players. Here's what I worry about. And you've had teams like this. The Tennessee D-line, that's their strength. The Ohio State O-line is arguably a unit that's always been a bit in flux. If you went into a big game and you're like, okay, and you went into a few of these, okay, we can't do this, and they can. Does that concern you that the volunteer strength could be the liability of Ohio State?
No, it's very alarming. Anytime you get to December, that's really the number one place you look. And all those years of game planning, the first thing you do is I remember for years and years and years, you sit there and you just run back and forth the matchups on the offensive line and defense line. And when Seth McLaughlin, the center, got hurt for Ohio State, this is right after their best performance maybe in 2 years at Penn State. And they didn't play very well against the Wolverines. Matter of fact, they played poorly. It looked discombobulated, and a lot of that's because of those 3 injuries they had in the offensive line. So there's some answers, but that's the first play you check. The obvious answers, Colin, get the ball out fast. This is going to be a throw first game for Ohio State. It's going to be cold, but there's, it is what it is. It's going to be a throw first game, which obviously that's not conducive to, a big time matchup, but it's going to be a throw first game for Ohio State.
So Urban, this happened to you very infrequently, but if you lost a game in college and had a long layoff, that's different. Generally, you win. Ohio State wins. They get a month off. Boy, it is a lot of energy and a lot of smiling in the weight room. Team's kind of trying to find itself for the next month. So it's about culture and it's about coaching. Does that concern you?
It does. It does, because you've been having to eat this damn thing now for 3 weeks, and it's awful. I mean, I was there in Columbus, and that's, you lose to that team up north, you lose to the Wolverines, and Ohio is a tough place, man. That's a high expectations. But I actually talked to Coach Day. In the old days, you had to, if you lost that game, you had to eat it for 365 days, go to some bowl game you wish you were in probably, but you don't have time now. You got an SEC program, a team that's got like you said, a very good D-line coming in here. So to me, Colin, this is all about, those seniors came back for a lot of reasons. One was to beat the team up north. They didn't do it. However, they also want to go compete for a national title. To me, this is a locker room issue. If they come out and play well, that means they got a strong locker room. If they don't, that means they don't.
The 2 best college football coaches in my lifetime are probably Nick Saban and Urban Meyer. Both of you tried the NFL. The fit wasn't ideal. I don't believe that all NFL guys go to college and it's easy. I don't think Belichick or Bill Parcells, they don't have a lot of charisma. I don't think they're built for college football. I think you're limited on number of hours. I think you have to deal now more than ever with donors and administration and nonsense. I thought college football was always going to be tough for certain guys. I think Bill's going to get tired of it really quick. He's built a pro model. You know Bill. We know he's smart. But Nick and you could turn it on. I know both of you. I've been with you. You have a good sense of humor. You're light. That's a big part of this thing. The players are selecting you in college. In the pros, you just select them. I'm in the minority here. I think the tedium of college football coaching could wear him out. Are you a little concerned that he's stepping into something that's gotten really difficult, college coaching?
I know Coach very well. Went to many times up to the Patriots, and what amazed me was how smart he was, and he adapts and he can get things done. It's a much different game that me and you knew, Colin, that, for example, you know how many times the coaches are on the road the month of December in college now? None. It used to be every day. You were gone for 3 weeks in the month of December in people's homes. Now you don't do that. Now it's simply they come to your campus, you find out how much they're being paid, and you give them or you don't give them. The days are gone when you have to write all the emails, or not emails, text messages and handwritten notes and talking to the players' girlfriends, his aunt, the high school social studies teacher, the assistant strength coach is going to help you get it in the school. That's all gone. So it's a much different, if there was a time for Coach Belichick to go to college, it's now. I would say 10 years ago, 5 years ago, it would be a real struggle because it's just something he's never done. It's probably something he's not very comfortable in. What you just said, yeah, you're on the road in those high schools. You don't do that now. So it's simply, how much is it? I'm recruiting Colin Cowherd. I call you up, say, Colin, how much is it going to cost for you to come to North Carolina? You and your agent tell me your number, and we either go or we don't go.
And by the way, I'm not cheap. I've got very good hands. I'm not cheap. Okay.
Pre-gray hair, I might have recruited you, Colin, not now. No.
So, listen, I've been wrong more than a few times. I thought Lincoln Riley at USC would work. But there is a difference between being schematically very smart and building a program. And I've always said, USC, California high school players, a lot of quarterbacks, receivers, and corners. Sometimes you got to leave the state to get great linemen. He doesn't appear to love recruiting. He lost a lot of good players in the transfer portal. Is it possible I just missed on it? It's not going to work. I mean, they're freaking out here. What do you make of their situation right now?
I just worry. I like Lincoln Riley. He's always been very good to me. I coached against him one of his early games. They beat us when he was a head coach at Oklahoma. I love his offensive scheme. I'm saying all the right things because I believe it should work. Here's the problem, Colin. Once you lose momentum, it's hard to get back.
Yeah.
And USC's lost momentum. I mean, they had it when they hired him and a lot of energy. They officially have lost momentum in Southern California. What does that mean? Normally, it doesn't end well. I'm going to give him benefit of the doubt because it's not his first rodeo. He did a really good job at Oklahoma. I think he'll get it back. I really do. But the minute you lose momentum, you got to really turn up the heat now to get that momentum back. And that's got to be it. You got to get some prize recruit. You got to win some games because if you continue to lose momentum, this will end poorly.
Yeah. So I guess, I think I've kind of said I picked Tennessee to win the Natty before the season. So
you did.
Yeah, I did. I think Josh Heupel, I liked him. Their D-line, and they always have good receivers. I mean, they have good backs and receivers in down years. It's just Tennessee. I don't know if they can beat Ohio State, so I'd feel much better if they didn't have to go to Columbus because I think the Buckeyes are going to win. But I look at Texas, and I made this comment, and tell me I'm wrong. I know they've got a bunch of great players, but for some reason offensively, they got Sark. They have the best left tackle. Why aren't they scoring more? I don't see juice. Ohio State, I see juice. I see juice with their backs. I see juice on the perimeter. I watch Texas, and I'm like 17 against A&M, struggling this week, struggling against Georgia. Is it just a Georgia thing, or maybe is Texas a little overvalued?
That's I actually went back and watched them yesterday because I'm going to do some commentary on the playoffs coming up here. And I've been at Texas, I picked them last year. I picked them again this year to be right there. And I think they will be right there. Here's what I think's happened. I don't see the same creativity that I usually see from Sark. And I'm wondering if he's just a game manager now. That means he has an excellent defense. I love the defense.
Yes.
I think they're obviously one of the best defenses. And when you have a great defense, you have a tendency to kind of tighten up and just play to win the game. I think that's what's happened with Ryan Day a little bit. When you see your defense just smothering an opponent, and I've been there. What goes through your mind is don't lose this damn game.
Right.
Don't do something stupid and play to your strengths. The fans hate it, but you know what? At the end of the day, your job is to win that game. That's what I see when I watch Texas right now. That's what I see when I see Ohio State right now. I don't see the creativity. I don't see the balls to the wall. Let it fly. And I'm not disagreeing with it. I've been there. I've won a lot of games where you just don't feel great about your offense and you play to the strengths. And that is, do not turn that ball over, play field position football and find a way to win the game. That's what I see when I watch Texas right now.
Hi, everybody. It's me, Uncle Colin. Subscribe here to get the latest from the herd, including exclusive behind-the-scenes videos and more, wherever you may be, however you may be watching. Thanks again for making us part of your day.